Hi, happy Saturday. Hello, where's everybody doing? Hey, Tales Within, Walnut Poetry, Indie _ Yog. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. I actually kind of need ideas for what I should do today after this. There's cleaning. I need to clean for sure. Hi, Shadows of a Poet. Maybe I should hike. I really want to go to a hot springs. I'm in Idaho, so we have, in the US, we have some of the, like, the most hot springs ever. So they're everywhere, which is beautiful. Oh, hey. Kayaking for you. Hey, that's cool. Where are you? Walnut Poetry. Kayaking. That sounds scary to me. Like, I feel like I'd just flip over. Honestly, I would flip over for sure. Dallas. Okay. Nice. I've always wanted to go to Texas. That would be fun. Hiking's an awesome idea. It would work. Thing is I got dressed like for this, and so it would just be like a different outfit. That's kind of like how I plan my day. Like before this, I was like, I need to work out because I do not want to get ready twice. So I got up, I got worked out, took a shower, and literally just got ready 2 minutes before this thing. Not ready, but I was done getting ready. It took me like 20 minutes, but. Hi, new people. Just talking about what to do on Saturday. What are you guys doing on Saturday today? Like, actually, that could be Sunday somewhere else. Yeah. Oh, hi, people. We're just waiting for Pisces girl, and then, okay, what's the outfit? This, I don't know, a blouse. Hi, Soulful Scribbles of Lust. It isn't Sunday yet here. Oh, she's here. Let's see, just gotta see. Request to join. Pisces girl. Twin is in. Oh, you're there. Sorry about that. Should be loading, hopefully.
Hi.
You were there. Sorry.
How are you?
I'm good. I lost track of time writing poetry again in the bath. So I was like, I probably should get ready. So I'm here though. You're here.
We're here. We're going to do it. I have not lost track of time. I was nervously counting down the minutes.
Oh, I was like that too when I first did it. The first one on live, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna, but then you just start doing it and it's just like, walking into work or something, your first day on the job and you're just nervous. And then it's just like, oh, hey, Henry, in accounting. So, okay, cool. So, guys, welcome to Filter Free Poetry, where we don't give a shit and we say whatever we want.
Me.
Yeah. Okay, so today I'm going to be interviewing Pisces Girl for a little bit. And then we're going to go into reading some poems that she's curated. And we're going to read a couple of each other's. And then I will end it with something different. I've compiled some comedic pieces that I found around the web or around Instagram. There's not a lot, but I found some and I have a couple of my own. And then in my bio, there is an anonymous question link. If you click on my bio, there'll be submit anonymous question. So if you have an anonymous question for us that you don't feel comfortable putting in the chat, do go there because we'll look at them at the end. And then if anybody else has submitted poetry, if you guys within this time frame want to submit poetry to hashtag filter-free poetry, you can do so. We'll read those at the end. I think that's it. So yeah, let's get going.
Okay.
First off, besides being nervous, which is totally cool, totally normal, what do you have planned after this?
I have a busy day. I have to go to the hair salon. I have to go, it's opening day for Little League here in the town, so I'll swing by and see my daughter.
Oh, cool.
And then tonight, hanging out with my friends. So it'll be fun. Tomorrow's my daughter's birthday. We're going to probably drink and watch TV tonight, movies, and tomorrow we're having some people over for her birthday. Yeah.
I miss drinking. I quit 6 months ago. It's getting out of control.
I don't drink often, but tonight I'll have like one or two with my girlfriend. She's going to come over with her kids, with my kids, and we'll just watch some movies together.
Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, if you could stop at one or two, then like by all means. If you can't stop past the bottle, you probably should quit.
Yeah. Well, that was early COVID for a lot of us, though, to be fair, right?
Yeah, COVID kind of like, yeah, it made people kind of depressed, for sure. So drinking is a natural
distraction.
Yes, distraction. Oh, hey, new people. We're just doing some talking. I'm on a live show. Oh. My kids, I don't know if you can hear my kid. He's like, who are you talking to? Cool. So how old's your daughter?
She's turning 5 tomorrow.
Oh, small.
Yeah, she's little. And my son is almost 13, so
2 kids, 5 and 13.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a 10 and an 8-year-old, 2 boys.
Boys are fun. My oldest is a boy.
They're a little bit, when there's 2 of them though, they beat the crap out of each other. Like.
Yeah. Well, you know, my daughter holds her own with her brother. I'll just put it that way. They haven't had a couple of all-out brawls.
Well, yeah, that makes
fierce.
sense.
My daughter is, she's a tough kid, my daughter.
That's okay. Raising tough women, that is good.
Yes, I agree. She's like me.
Yeah, tough, yeah. So, other than what's happening today, what besides poetry, what else do you do for fun?
For fun, so I love kickboxing. I'm an avid kickboxer.
Really?
Yeah, I've
been did kickboxing for 3 years.
Yeah, for 11 years, and I'm actually getting certified to teach. I'm in the process of getting my certificate.
That's awesome.
My sister just called me. Yeah, I also have a little side business with my best friend. We make organic soaps and lotions, and we do the fair circuit all over our area. So we do that for fun to make some extra money. I love reading. I play piano. I draw. I love going into the city, going out for dinner. So outdoor. Yeah.
We have so much in common. I play piano too, and draw. I don't do it as much, but cool.
Yeah. I was classically trained for 13 years. So.
Oh well, I love that.
I only really play classical music, which is kind of weird. I never really got into other genres, so I wish.
Hey, that's okay. That's like the basis, right? You could probably, if you wanted to, just go. You know that you could probably, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, then don't. Yeah.
Yep.
So, hey, all noobs, people joining. I'm just getting to know Pisces girl, and Yeah. So I have a couple questions. Not a lot, so I'm not gonna overwhelm you. Um, talked about your background. So when did you start poetry? Why poetry? Like, what does it
So,
do for you?
yeah, so I've always been a creative child. I've always drawn. And I started really writing when I was about like 13. And I wrote for a long, long time. I actually took screenwriting classes in the city after I graduated from NYU. And then, life happens. And I started working, and, then I had children. So during COVID, I actually got out all of my old poetry books. And I'm like, I haven't looked at this stuff in 20 years, 15 years. I'm going to see how it is. And it was funny, it's teenage angst filled poetry, right? It was really funny to read what was going through my mind back then. It's almost like a diary of sorts, right? And I started writing during COVID. So I work in the city, but I live very far out east on Long Island. So I commute 4 hours a day to work. So
What?
yes, yes, I have a good job, so I do it. Yeah. So I'm on the road 4 hours a day, but it's public transportation. I get to sleep. It's not awful. And I didn't have those 4 hours of commuting anymore. So I started using the 4 hours to write again. And Pisces Girl kind of just took off.
Oh, what an excellent way to take a shit situation and turn into something productive.
Hmm.
Sorry, shit. This is a 4-hour commute. I mean, in most people's lives it
Yeah,
is
it's
shit, but
shit. Yeah, no,
but
you're
you
right.
can't. You're stuck there. You took the most out of that time and then made something of it. So I think we all could probably take something from that of like, where's that downtime that you have? For me, it's the shower and the toilet, but
I
like,
also, I'm just like a busy person. I don't stop. I wake up in the morning and I don't drink coffee till like 1 in the afternoon. That's like my midday pickup, I call it. But I just have a lot of energy to begin with. So I was like, wow, I'm like bored. It's 4 hours a day. I'm like, what am I going to do with my time? And that's how I thought of it. So,
wow. And there's no online option, huh, for you?
oh yeah, I do work from home now, and we'll be hybrid when we eventually go back. But like I'll be in the city in and out in April, but it's not consistent.
Oh,
So,
so this is a prior thing. This is like not anymore.
right. This was at when COVID started and the city shut down and I couldn't
Oh,
commute.
oh,
So, this is about
oh,
2 years ago.
okay, okay. That makes
Mhm.
more sense. I was like, wow, that's a lot. Because I was like, COVID, how are you commuting still? Especially
Right.
public transportation. Is it like crazy where you're at with
So,
COVID?
it's not crazy, but the issue with my company is that we're in New York City and it's a central hub, and we can't really ask people to ride on the public transportation, right? Because of the risk. So, we're still not back. Well, hi, Amanda. My one of my best friends just joined.
Oh, well, hi, Amanda. How long have you guys been friends?
10 years, 12 years. She actually was my son's karate teacher for a while, and then we kind of bonded like a big sister, little sister relationship.
Mhm.
So she's awesome. She's here. Yeah, she's a third-degree black belt, so you don't want to mess with Amanda.
I've always wanted, like, I've always wanted to be able to do that. Like, I did kickboxing, but we both know that's not like,
Right, right,
it's not self-defense.
right.
Oh,
So yeah.
awesome. Wow, busy life. I
Yeah.
have to have a coffee. So, for a while, it was smelling like gasoline because my smell's coming back. I've like probably talked about that on here. But it's back to smelling like crap. Like if it's heated up, coffee smells bad. Like I still have coffee right here,
Right.
but if it's like just the grounds, it smells good. But it's a bummer. Anyway,
I know. Was it weird? Like, I remember when I had COVID, I just lost my taste and smell for like 3 days. But I remember drinking coffee because it's such a habit, and like it just felt like hot liquid, right? Was that weird for you to have that sensation with no taste and smell to go with it?
actually, I had no smell, but I had taste. But just like before, it's like distorted. I almost would rather just have no taste at all.
Right.
But it's just like, it's a mix between like gas, ink, garbage.
Mm. Yeah, that's
Losing weight,
awful.
though. Good
That's
diet.
awful. Yeah. Summer's
Food don't,
coming.
Doritos don't taste good. They taste really bad. So, like, that's good. But,
Yeah.
okay. So, if you could, like, describe your work in, like, 3 words, what would they be?
My gosh, that's a hard question. Deep.
Deep? Okay.
Um, I feel like I write a lot of love poems. I would say love.
So, kind of like romantic.
Yeah, I think everything I write, there's an essence of love to it, whether it's lost love, found love, unrequited love. I feel like I really focus a lot on that. Um, and I think it's evolving. I think that's a good way to put it. You know, I look at old pieces. I'm constantly a work in progress, I always call it. I'm always editing, re-editing, looking at old things, refreshing things. So I feel like they kind of live, right? Because they keep morphing as they grow with me. Sometimes things have different meanings after a while. So I would say it's evolving.
Evolving. Evolving,
Deep,
love, and
deep.
deep. Oh, I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, reading some of your work, I can get that too. Someone else said, they say passionate, intense, and passionate. That's a compliment. If
Thank
you can get
you.
intense out of somebody, that's good.
Yeah.
You're
I always
vested.
say a lot of what I write has like double entendres. You can interpret it in two different ways. So I guess I love that people could apply what they're going through in their life. I don't like to tell people what my poems are about. A lot of people have asked, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of for you to interpret, because I feel like that's what art is. We take our own experiences and our own opinions and we apply it to an external object, whether that's poetry, painting, a sculpture, right?
Mhm.
So,
I've often thought poetry is its own language. I've written this
yes,
before. It's a language that only you know, but can be interpreted by many.
I agree. I agree.
I love poetry for that. Like, you could be pissed at somebody or something, you like read a poem, it's like, you got it out, you told the world, but I don't know who that's about. So
Right.
totally. It's always it'll always hit the right recipient. Yeah, for sure. I would say so too.
Yep.
I'm eating, guys. I'm hungry. I eat at every live. Like, it's just, so I've got like, you'll see me eating pickles at one
Pickles.
point. 0 calories.
I love it.
Yogurt.
Yogurt.
I want a French press that tastes like ass, but I just drink it anyway.
Aw.
But um, cool. So, you kind of talked about your process a little bit. But
Mhm.
what is, like, every poet has like a process. What is yours?
So I draw inspiration from people I talk to. So like friends, conversations, music. Sorry, my son just woke up, the teenager. Music, conversation, other writers. Sometimes I'll read something and a phrase or a word they use will just strike a chord in me. And then I just like let it pour out. It's raw. And after I let it pour out, that's when I start the editing process. So it's funny because a lot of the stuff I post on my page is actually old, like 6 months ago, 3 months ago. The stuff that I story are thoughts or feelings that I'm working with, and those are the ones that kind of come to me. So that's the difference in my page. So the stuff I post as a post are all items that I've worked on and edited. And then the stuff in my stories are kind of pieces I'm playing with or feeling out or seeing if they even work or if I like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds similar, I think, too, to mine. Like, you just like puke out the words essentially, and then you go back through and edit it to where it has to sound rhythmically correct. It has to have a good cadence.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever find that after you post, do you have like posters regret, like just when you post it, you're like have to take it down now because I thought of something better. Have you ever taken it
Absolutely.
down?
So I won't take it down right away. I will let it sit there, but I'll give myself a 3-month window, I call it, and then I'll kind of go in and archive or delete it when no one's looking, and then I'll redo it. That's kind of my process. Like I've had a few that I posted with typos, those I will take down immediately and
Okay.
repost. And it's always like, my friend too, we were talking about this on here, and it's like, you have a typo in your poem, you love your poem, you post it, and it's the one that has the most likes, and then you notice the typo or someone points it out, and you're like, and then you repost it and you never get the same reaction twice. So it's tough.
One time when I first started, 4 times, I started writing apologies in the caption.
Right. Like, sorry guys, take 3.
Take 3. Nobody notices either. It's just you.
Right.
But oh man.
Yeah, but some of the stuff I've taken down, like I started archiving older pieces that I want to redo or I want to break up. So some of my longer pieces I'm looking to do shorter pieces with. So
yeah. Well, and that tends to do really well.
Yeah.
You think you have to have a balance between long and short pieces. What do you think?
So writing the poetry that I started writing has been more of an exercise for me, believe it or not. I do it almost as a brain teaser. Like, how am I going to say what I want to say in as little words as possible? But my passion are my long forms. I have about 100 poems that I've written that are all long that I just haven't posted because I'm now playing with this genre, or I'm kind of in that space. So eventually I'll start posting the longer pieces back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to get it up. Like right when I do it, I'm just like, boom. I like the process. I don't know if this is for you. I noticed you use a lot of just text on like a solid color.
Mm-hmm.
But I and maybe people in the audience, I really like the creative process of adding music or video.
I know.
And make it immersive. Is that something you try or that you have tried?
I was playing with it. I have some really pretty black and white photos, and I was kind of playing with my words on them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm thinking about it.
Right.
I love what everybody else does, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it would be really cool to. It's always you're trying something new. It can be a little bit unearthing at the time, but then when it goes up and people start to like it, you start to just keep trying more and more creative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can't wait for that.
Thank you. I take a lot of photos, my sunset photos. I do take a lot of photos, and I'm always thinking my sunset photo, I can dull the colors, put some prose over it, but I never do it. I should do it. I'll try just for you. I'll tag you when I do it.
You're doing one just in honor of. Do you use Canva?
Hmm?
That's what I use.
Which one?
You use Canva to create your posts?
No, I actually do them in Fonto, but I'll look into Canva as well.
They have a free version. I upgraded to the $12.99 version.
Okay.
Just because I like to create videos and stuff. But yeah, this is not an ad for Canva because I only have 2,000 followers and they're not interested in me. So
maybe it can be an ad for Canva.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So use promo code, I don't know. And then they'll know. What is this? But yeah, Canva, I use that a lot. It's really intuitive. So
I'm gonna check it out.
And then anybody in the comments, if you use something to edit your photos or your poems, put that in there. And so maybe we can check those out too. But time for poetry time.
Okay.
So how would you want to start reading some of your curated pieces and then we can. Okay.
So let's see. All right.
I have to get my pickles.
Oh, affinity photo, someone just said.
What is it?
Affinity photo. I never heard of it. I'll check that out too.
Amy, my friend Amy. Hey Amy, affinity photo. You've never told me about this before. It's probably because I'm just all up in Canvas business. All right.
Okay. So So I picked a few pieces of some writers on Instagram that I would love to share with you guys.
Okay.
So the first one I picked was from CKS Poetry. His name is Cal, and one of my favorite poems he wrote is called Ragweed Lover. So here goes. A southern woman in a sundress, like cocaine in July, got me wound up like a hound dog, chained up across the yard. She licked my lips, then dipped her fingers into sugar from that big glass jar her mama kept beside the stove, brushing up against me gently, like she can taste my heartbeat, playing with some fire and getting high off my pulse. I blown in with the summer like a ragweed fever, got her calling out sick and spending time away from home. I'll be gone come winter, and she can go and find a banker or a scarecrow made of money, and she'll lay in bed smiling because I put her in a poem.
Wow. Freaking. I need to get, actually, I think I'm going to get one of those applause buttons that I can do on my laptop. So it sounds like you have a lot of, that was just like,
Yeah.
boom.
He he writes these poems and they're almost like stories. Like I feel like he just takes me right into that moment. Like I can see that woman in the sundress. I could feel that passion and that desire between the two of them. And I could see the temporariness of it all. And she goes about her day and marries like, the contender to be the town mayor. And she like had this like great romance with this guy, right? That's how I thought of it. And I
Oh,
love
yeah,
that.
the sugar part.
Yes.
Yeah, that got me hungry.
Yeah. Not surprised.
I mean, I guess I could go twofold, right? It could be,
Yeah.
anyway, lovely poem.
Yeah. Thank you. I thought so too. Do you want me to read one more before you go, or do you want to read?
Yeah, however many you want to read.
Okay, I'll read one more and then you can read. This is another one that I really enjoyed reading from TMC Poetry. She's also like a really amazing woman.
Yeah.
And I read this and I really thought it was something that us as women could really relate to, right? So here goes. I was never anyone's first choice, and I'm certainly not someone's trophy, yet they trickle in steadily. I wonder what makes them look to me with that glimmer in their eye and their tongues hanging long, dripping with saliva, as if I was something to literally eat, never keeping their minds out of their perverted gutters, because I wasn't born with a soul or a heart, but a body to consume. I'm just passing the time, a delight for late afternoon.
She is so good.
She's
She
so
was on the
good.
first live show.
Was she?
So if you guys want to check that out, very first one. But actually, no, we didn't. We actually ditched that one because we said some stuff we didn't want out in public. So we didn't even post it. So you were there, you were there. Wow. She's so good. Sounds
So
like
good.
the DMs though, on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, and just like being a woman and just being judged a lot by like what our beauty, right? Like what we look like, what we'll feel like, and you know, you know how it is, right? And I just read that
Yeah.
and I said, wow, that can resonate with anyone at any time in their life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thirsty nation for sure.
Oh yeah.
People be thirsty for sure. It's like, and this is something I've actually kind of written about, and it kind of goes with it, but like, does anybody like, I'm married, but in general, from what I see, it's like, do people just like want the like Tinder relationships? Like, does anybody like why? Why do people not want relationships anymore? I'd be very curious to know this, like in the comments, like anybody that's single or their observations don't even have to be single, but I think people desire connection. My assumption is that it's become so instant, like such an instant nation. I won't keep saying nation, instant population, or they just like if they can't get it right away, you know. So I was always curious about that. But so think about it, guys. Um, okay, I guess I'm up. Should I read your two for about your
Sure.
parents?
Word Vomit Poetry. Hi, Cece. She said this it's the same reason people like micro poetry, short attention spans. Yeah.
It's true. It was funny because like if people weren't like that, I think people would feel a lot happier, maybe. But
You're
I'm
right.
just like an old soul. Like I never really like desired like one night stands or anything. At least I think that's because
Um,
I'm a poet or something, you know, but
I don't know. I'm the same as you though. I've actually never had a one night stand.
and that is, and you know what, and people might be like in a sitcom thing, like,
Hmm.
you know, but that's something commendable in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like if it has happened to you, fine, but
Yeah,
someone should
no,
be shamed for that. Like it
no, I
almost feels like a
agree.
weird thing to say.
It's just so funny because like I'm old and I think about that. My friends tease me because they're like, "How could you never have one? You need to have one." And I'm like, "Yeah,
You
okay."
don't need to have one. That's the thing.
Right.
Your body is like a temple, right? That's how I see it. Maybe even from I am,
Yeah.
you know, I read the Bible, but like it's like your body's a temple. Like why would you just give it away for free?
Right.
And it's just something to think about. I could be totally jilted and be like the total nerd, but anyway,
And yeah, some people are sending some good comments in. I see Kiki. I just missed them.
I did too. Um,
Too much access.
People
Sex is
always
energy. Yeah.
choose an
Oh, I
easy
agree.
way. People should learn to be patient, and they're not. Soulful
Kiki.
scribble.
Yep.
People don't like to be uncomfortable. They don't want to do the hard work. Too much access. And a huge chance that those people don't look for long-term relationships. Sex is energy. Don't give it away. Pretty good mindset. I'm impressed. Thanks. We're just poets, you know. There's not all poets are like that, but I think when
Oh
you
no.
start to think and connect these concepts of what love is, and you do it enough, you start to kind of see it's fruitless. You know, this kind of has taken a different route, but it's yeah. So, but you also see a lot of people hurt on here in their poetry, me myself included. It's how you deal with the hurt, right?
Sure.
Um,
100%.
so if you haven't had a one night stand, do not be ashamed. Be proud of yourself. If you have had a one night stand, also don't be ashamed. We are
Yeah, you
all
do you.
not shaming each other, you know?
Nope.
So I'm gonna go from one night stands to reading a poem about your dad.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So you lost both your parents.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if you want to talk about that really quick before I read it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So my dad, they both died from lung issues, but unrelated. So my dad died when he was 70, and my mom, so that was 11 years ago, and my mom died, it's going to be 3 years ago. She had the disease where it constricts, the airwaves constrict in your lungs. So yeah, but it is sad, but they've prepared me in a way because, my mom was a very strong woman. And she always said life is for the living and not to dwell, right? About what we don't have, but appreciate what we have. And she instilled that in me so much. So, losing my dad was tough. That was the hardest loss because I think that was my first significant loss. It was a 2-year mourning period for me. My mom was a little quicker, but my mom's quality of life had gone down so much that she really was not happy with the way things were going. So they're both gone. I was with them both when they passed, which was nice. I got to be with them as they took their last breath. And help them go, like really help them go, make sure that we were okay. I kept telling them, we're okay. You don't have to hang on. And yeah. So I have a great family. I have wonderful friends. I have wonderful family that here with me, and I think my mom and dad would be proud of how we have moved forward and kept them with us, right? Like my mom's birthday was in March, and I took my kids out with my best friend and her kids going for ice cream because that was my mom's favorite dessert. So that's how I celebrate her. So that's our little tradition.
How old were you when you lost your mom?
So that was almost 3 years ago. So I'm 45. So I was 42.
Oh, I thought you said 33.
No, that my father, that was 35 when I lost my father.
Okay. You don't look that old.
I know. Everybody says that.
You're 30.
I know. I'm very old. I'm 45. I just turned 45 in February.
Okay, so what face cream do you use? Like for real? I have wrinkles on my forehead coming. I'm 33, gonna be 33.
Yeah. So honestly, it's good genes. I do have to say, like my mother was 8 years older than my father, and she looked 10 years younger than him. Like it's just good genes. But I always say lots and lots of water. And I just to protect your sun. I don't suntan a lot. I'm not like laying there in the sun. So that's it.
So you have no special skincare regimen?
No, I mean, I do the Clinique thing, and then I use the Philosophy, but I don't do a lot, right?
Wow. Goals. Yeah, the water thing's huge. I mean,
yeah. And you know what the best advice I ever got? When I turned 30, one of my good friends at work, she's about 20 years older than me. She said, when you turn 30, start using eye cream. That was the best advice I ever got. She goes, it will help all of that
did that
in your
too.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I started doing that too. I made a very sad post on Facebook. I'm like, it has reached this point. I have like this retinol cream. I'm like, I have this. I was like, this is the age where I thought my mom was old.
Right.
So.
Right.
Okay, to Papa.
To Papa.
All right. For a long time, I battled you inside of me, never at peace with the parts that made me me. I tore myself to pieces, ripped open my seams, bleeding your name from my tired veins. The story stayed the same. I kept falling just so I can rise again. And the more I fought, the more I bled until I was down to my last breath, almost at death. In one last-ditch attempt, I took your weakness, turned them into my power, took a match, and set the old me on fire. From the ashes I rose. Your daughter. I love you now. I love you then. I love you till the very end. For everything you taught me, and for all I learned. For all we healed, for all we burned. I cry on every live. That is just...
Yeah, so that was a powerful poem because my father and I had a very volatile relationship, and it took us a long time to meet in the middle, but we got there. We got there, and we were good. We were good for a long time. Yeah.
I can't even relate. I'm so sorry, but with time comes healing, and it took that couple years to do that, and they'll always be there. But it is a good lesson to be like, hey, today you should appreciate today, even though everything seems monotonous. Like, I noticed that when I went outside of so I'm a mom, you're a mom, and I'm always like this. Until someone said a while ago, it's like, you're living your life through your camera. You should be living it through your own eyes. And it's like, oh, they're fighting again. And so I was like, I'm going to do that. And so that's just kind of like being more mindful. It's hard. It's a practice, but I think it's important.
Agree.
Or it just passes you by, you know, you're just like a robot every day. So.
Yeah, you worry about the past, you worry about the future. Like, you don't really sit there and really just enjoy what is going on in the present, right?
Yeah. Like when you were a kid,
Mm-hmm.
where like everything, I look at my kids and I actively try to get into their minds sometimes. I'm like, why are they so interested in this? And so we went in the backyard and we made like a mud city.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not going to worry about getting dirty. And so I'm just like covered in mud. I was like, this is what I remember. Like, this
Right.
is life.
Right.
Being in the mud, making a city, getting dirty. You just don't want to get dirty anymore. But yeah, so yes, thank you. Such
Thank
great
you.
writers with spot on wisdoms. We some wise women. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna do one now. I'm gonna read about your mama. Okay, so for all those joining, we are reading some poetry. I'm reading some about Pisces girls' deceased parents. These are poetry about them. This one's about her mom. And so here it goes. I hear your name whispered in March winds and feel your warmth on cold New York days. The way you loved me guides me still. You are my true North Star. And I can't help but smile your smile. As feelings of peace wash over me, you are everywhere I need you to be. For once you were one, and now you are many.
You're gonna
Can you
make me cry. Yeah.
I thought of my mom, and I'm like,
My mom was like the best person you would ever meet. She was fiercely strong, fiercely kind. She wasn't funny, but she loved to laugh. So my father had the sense of humor, but she loved to laugh. But she wasn't like innately funny. Like my father was like the clever one. And, you know, again, the lessons my mother instilled in me. And, you know, my mom was funny. She was, went to church every Sunday, yet taught me how to read tarot cards. So she walked that line between, she was kind of in the middle of a lot of things. So I was thinking just about her and how her loss affected me. And then I think about how I go about my day, and her wisdom guides me. And I think of smiles, or I think of kindness in people, and I see her everywhere, even in strangers, right? Just a kindness or a way that you move. And that was what the inspiration was for that poem. She's here. I know she's here, and I feel her.
Hi, Mama. What's your mom's name?
Nancy. It was Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. We know you're here.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Okay, so next is my grandma.
Yes, I was going to read the poem that you wrote about your grandma. And first off, I love it. And do you have the mug by any chance with you?
I don't have the mug with me,
Okay.
but I guess I could. Okay, let me go get it.
Okay. All right. So Melissa's going to go get the cup that she wrote that inspired her poem about her grandma. So I thought it'd be cool if she showed it to us, so you can kind of relate the coffee mug to the teacup, I guess, to the poem. Thank you, Sarah. That was really nice. She said, I could hear the feelings from your voice. Hi, Nancy. Oh, is it? You know what? Melissa paused the video.
Let's just even turn on.
Okay.
So here's the cup. that I guess the backstory. Um, so it's actually my grandma-in-law, but she's been in my life for like, 15 plus years. And so she's like my grandma, and I really looked up to her. And just the wonderful woman she was. She had like the smile where you could remember it. Like she'd do this thing where she'd be like, she was such a warm heart. She'd be like, ta-da! Like she just did like the coolest things. And I was going to drink this, and then I realized like how faded this cup was, and she had given it to me. And so I wrote this poem about it late at night when I was drinking tea out of it. So that's what this is about.
Melissa, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah's saying my voice is breaking up, but you could hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, so here goes. This cup, so ordinary, so basic, yet it holds the perfect cup of tea. I remember the day you gave it to me. Bacon fresh on the table, coffee hot. I was looking for a vessel to hold my lifeblood in when I stopped to admire this one in particular. The words read, Indiana. Oh, that thing? I got it on the truck. You could have it. I went on to use that cup till the paint slowly began to fade, with grace like a Sunday morning. And then you died, and I stopped using it. I didn't want its color to fade like yours did that day. But right now, in this moment, I want to feel like I am with you, around the same table, enjoying a hot drink, a good laugh, and an even better story. See you in heaven someday, Grandma. Your light lives on in all of us, Melissa. So beautiful. Just like feeling that close to her every time you use it. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. It really is.
Thanks. I miss her a lot. But I know she's in a good place. Like,
Yeah.
she wanted to see her husband so bad, so I know she's in heaven. And she was celiac disease, so she could eat a lot of stuff. She's always had such a good like a good point. Even if things were shit, she'd be like, find the good.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she's up there like eating bread like a mug, like she's up there eating bread, and she'll be like, when I'm in heaven someday, I'm gonna be skinny and I can just eat as much bread as I want.
I
So
love it. What was her
fun.
name?
Phyllis.
Phyllis. I love it. Aw.
What do we have next? Yours? You have a few more, and then all kind of. How many more do you have?
Sure, I could read a few more of the pieces I found that I chose.
Yeah, and then I'll end in the comedy.
Okay.
Okay.
So the next poem I'm reading is written by Red Dirt Revival. And I read it and it just struck a chord. So I figured I'd share it with you guys today. Don't be ridiculous. You're not in love. You're an addict. And so addicted you've become to me. Like space dust and crushed up pills, I simply keep you awake, make your heart race, get you hard, cause your pupils to dilate. It's not me you need, just the rush of heat. Honey, you've been chasing the fix all your life, and I'm the high you just can't reach.
All these
I love
pages,
that.
like I know you said you spent a while curating these, and it shows. Like these are amazing. So thank you.
Yeah, I like this one because this is just about that pure passion. And that's all it is, right? It's just you get
And that's
addicted to
something
that
you
kind of
can
love.
find on Tinder.
Yeah, get addicted
Right?
to that. And then I'll read Talia Espino. She's so awesome, Tali. And this one is called I Don't Want a Vase. Maybe it's the breath you've taken from me, or trying to make sense of those eyes, but I've changed. And these days, I'm no longer seduced by such sad things as vases for flowers, that only feel loved, keeping beauty contained, pretending they're not holding death. I prefer them like I prefer you, wild, untamed, and alive. I don't think I'll ever look at a vase holding live flowers the same again after reading that poem.
And that's the beauty of poetry.
Yeah. Keeping beauty contained, pretending they're not holding death, right? I was like, wow.
Don't you love those moments where you read something? I wrote a poem, I don't know if you read it, but it was a salute to poets.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a salute to, I can bring it up. But I was reading something and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's amazing to me, like how poetry can do that. I'll read it real quick, it's very short. It's called A Salute. Sometimes I look at a piece of poetry and fall totally helpless to it. How moving to see my feelings through someone else's eyes. Knowing damn well the writer likely felt a passion so great it could make the clouds pour, or a sorrow so vast it could level the land below. How brave to bear oneself like that, for others to see, to heal, to believe. To the writers everywhere, I salute thee.
I love it.
It's like that's kind of the way I see it too, so
Yeah.
cool.
We read another one? Okay. So another one that I'm reading is by Auntie the Poet. She's like one of my favorite Instagram poets on here. And this one poem I loved because it reminded me a lot of not being able to turn off what's in your head, right? Just like,
Yep.
you know, the thoughts are going. So here we go. If I could say it in one line, I wouldn't be a writer. If I could find a balanced level, I wouldn't ever fight you. If I could find a place of peace without the decaying world weighing down on me, then maybe you and me, we could be happy. If I had the words to define this feeling, trust me, you would hear them. I know it only ever seems like I'm either whispering or screaming, but thoughts like mine have never been fleeting. They keep me up at night, and there's no relief in no sleeping, no mercy in overthinking, no euphoria in excessive drinking, and as ever, I am sinking.
When I don't have a reaction, that means I'm processing it quite heavily.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's a heavy poem, and I love it. Like, you know, the words that come to you just, yeah, and you're finding the relief. You can't sleep, but you're overthinking. You're dulling that with the drinking, and you're just sinking. It's an endless cycle, right? You just kind of go around in that. And it's relatable. We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
To break the cycle is quite commendable.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for the weak.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So I have one more poem if you'd like me to read it.
Yes, I'd like to read it.
This is by Glimpse of My Soul, 1111, and going with the theme of, you know, bereavement. I read this and it made me feel a lot of things I felt after my dad had passed. So I just wanted to share it with you guys. Dear March, I have not written you many letters. I sent you flowers to your work to cheer you up and to watch you sip your oatmeal coffee out of a skull-painted mug. I watched you pretend poorly to be okay when you clearly were not. I watched you cry and held you against me till your lungs gave out. I tried my best to sit with you in darkness, hold space for you. I read you your love poems in the bathtub because I know you don't want anyone to know you're a hopeful romantic. Dear March, I put flowers on my daddy's grave before the bulldozer pushed the red clay dirt on top of him 10 days ago. Dear March, I don't feel like myself today, and I don't think I remember when I last did. Don't pity me. Don't pity the side of me. I am told I am too hard on myself, and exhaustion has become my only friend. She keeps me company all of my days. When she's bored with me, she leaves me on depression's doorstep like an abandoned baby in a shoebox who doesn't yet know how to cry for help. Dear March, I think I am in love with silence, with the way he knows how to knead me, mold me into his form, the way he holds all of my spaces and fills me to the brim, the way he matches my breaths and rocks me to bliss. I think I am going to stay a little longer, till I no longer feel the noose trying to constrict my storms. I may swallow water, I may sink to the bottom, but I am full of sun, moon, magic, and I can walk on water again. Sincerely, holding you to my breast.
Oh, wow.
I read this like 100 times, and I didn't read it as well as I wanted to. I flubbed a couple of words, but I really relate a lot to this piece. And I guess my emotion obviously showed there, but it's just the silence, the exhaustion, the sadness, and you go through the motions, you know, sending yourself the flowers as you drink your coffee out of your mug at work, and you're doing all the things, but you have this insane grief that resides inside of you. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that one.
I think it's also beautiful when in grief, when you can get to the point where you smile at those memories. Like you have this settled sadness, but you also smile because they're not completely gone. They're there too, inside you, in your mind, in your memories. So I think that's a good sign of healing too. But
I agree. And I like that way you phrased it, settled sadness. Like the sadness is always inside of you, but it's not going crazy and it's not making you crazy anymore. Kind of just like settled and it's there. That's a really good way of saying that. I like that. Settled
what a good
sadness.
poem, huh? Settled sadness.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. All right. So for the people who are here, we have just read some curated pieces from other people, and a few of our own. And now I'm going to read some comedy. So invite your friends. Let's laugh or not. I could have curated crap. But I'll start with here's a good one. And I think a lot of us like can relate to this. Let me pull it up. This one's by cartoons underscore by underscore May. It's called Dr. Google. I've checked my symptoms online. Turns out I'm fine. Google says I have a brain tumor. My doctor meets my diagnosis with humor. Google says I have lupus today. The doctor says it's a rash from spray. Google says I have arm cancer. My doctor says sitting on my arm is the answer. Google says I have months to live. God, I've been there. The doctor says Google makes me ruminative. Google says I'm going blind. My doctor says opening my eyes may help. Google says I have an enlarged prostate. My doctor assures me this is a male trait. Google says I have a mental disorder. My doctor agrees.
Yeah, that was great.
No.
The male trait one got me in the last line. That was great.
Yeah, on the worst part, it's like I've been there too, where it's like Google. I don't check Google anymore or WebMD or whatever.
And you know what's funny is like going back to my parents, but like the doctors were like, "Don't Google anything because you're gonna make yourself crazy. Just listen to what we tell you, and we're gonna get through everything."
Yeah, and when you're in a state of like shocked too, like looking at that stuff probably isn't the best.
Yeah.
I've read this before, but this one's mine. It's called Baddest Bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's get into character. All right. Scraps, straps, secondhand dicks. You know what I mean, yeah? No? Okay, fine, I quit. But not until I tell you how I got played. It was a squelching summer day, hot and bothered. I entered a bar. And there he was, a pole dancing man named Steve, with a tight ass and looks to kill. I walked on over and asked if he was straight. He said he could be for a few pills. Apparently my fame was spreading. Just a dealer asking for scraps in a world where looks could kill. So I took him to my room. He put a detachable mustache on me, and all we did was spoon. But it doesn't stop there. Pretty soon I was passed out on the floor, all my drugs out the door. Why does this always happen to me? I ripped the stash off and ran. Steve, you witch, this isn't the end of this. You're not the only baddest bitch in town.
Are you straight? For a couple of pills, yes.
What's that?
Are you straight? I love that. And he's like,
I can be for a couple pills.
So
I think we lost a few people after that one.
oh my God, it's so funny.
So do you want me to read about a car warranty or a clip?
A clit? Yes. I saved you that one, obviously.
All right. Tell your friends. We're reading about a clip. Tina got high off of pleasure, so she tickled her clit with a feather. With eyes screwed to a squint, her body grew limp, and a grin dawned her face that was Cheshire. It's so weird. I was like, oh, clit, why not? Let's see.
What about the car warranty?
Let's see the car warranty. The gentle letdown. I probably shouldn't have told you. Okay. I have considered your offer. I'll have you know you're not the first, and you won't be the last to offer me a life of security for just a moment of my time. But here's the thing, and I really mean it. We can't go on like this. I must hang up, though. It tears me inside, but my current car warranty is just fine. It would have been better if I had not told you it was about a car warranty.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, here's one I've never read, actually. This is mine. This is when I was pissed in traffic. You made me mad. It's a terrible poem, by the way. You made me mad. It's the title. Why you be driving that way? I've had enough of your grandma games. Slow as fuck. You drive me crazy. Stopping mid-roundabout, you make me enraged. Ring, ring, driver's ed called, and they want their student back. So go back home. The rest of us need to be somewhere. Isn't that fair? Fuck off.
I love it.
Let's see. Oh, guys, whoever's here, I have a link in the bio for anonymous questions. If you have any, put them in there. We're going to answer them right after this. So I'll just read one more. Let's see. So a time ago, I wrote a series of poems/stories from a male perspective. So I try to get in the mind of a man. And so here's one of them. Okay. Boxes, boxes, so many little boxes. Well, some were big. My food box was huge. My sex box was even bigger. Hi, I'm Ted, and this is my mind. Millions of little boxes occupy this noggin. I have my work box, my gaming box, my guitar box, my stuff I want to forget box, stuff I need to do box, sports box, nothing box. My lady doesn't understand that one, and much more. There they are, all in their places. I know where to find them, and I don't need to be in more than one if I don't have to. My lady, on the other hand, big old plate of spaghetti, wires crossing and connecting for no apparent reason. I can't keep up. And I'm an electrician by trade. One minute she's sad, the next happy, the next horny as hell. Okay, not so much on that last part. The 52-year-old man can dream, right? Basically, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and you won't convince me otherwise. Time to jump back in my nothing box while I listen to my wife talk about what the neighbors did for the third time this week. Or was it fourth? Oh, who's counting? Men, if I got that right, if there are any men in here, let me know. I'm pretty sure I did, but
I think that just sounded.
so funny, not funny.
Yeah, I was laughing.
Let's see if we got any questions. No questions.
No questions?
Okay. Huh?
No questions?
No questions.
Okay.
I just recently started doing this. I'm not really sure if it's like what was the idea. Okay, now I'm gonna go and look for um
David said all boxes.
what?
David commented.
What do you say?
Santiago. He goes, all boxes.
So I nailed it pretty much. I just watched my husband and how he's like, huh? Like what did I say? Okay. Oh God. This one's quite I can tell it's to be quite erotic. All right. There it goes. Okay. All right. All right. This is by wild_jam. Compassion, Chaos, Caller is the title. Press your pen against my wrist and squeeze. Squeeze until you cut my compassion. Squeeze until I slip on the roof of your tongue and down in the chaos of your fuck me eyes, and my mouth makes me more I love you mistake. Squeeze until your paper cut coma turns into red soaked blood spells and somatic secret slips beneath your bed to keep the broken dripping fingers bent, wet, and wrecked.
Wow.
Write your story between my lips. Write my name in truth and spit 1,000 different meanings in my mouth. Watch while written rolling spoils of alphabet slide across my skin and saturate mess and sticky. I've never seen this word before. Nomenclature, yeah. Mm-hmm. Insatiate and desire, held down with silence. Hold me hostage with hands of hyperbole. Hold my head, then ride my face into oblivion with speech and scream. Hold me into illegibility, into the furnace of incomprehensibility, a place where all the I's turn into O's and all the E's are you.
Can you read that last line again? That was really cool. I like that. Where the all the what? Can you read that again? The last couple of lines.
A place where that one.
Mm-hmm.
A place where all the I's turn to O's and all the E's are you. Huh. And let's see, we got. I don't know. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Again.
Who wrote that? Can you send? I want to read that slow later. Can you send that to me?
Yeah. Let me. Yeah, I'll send it to you. This is a cool dude. Words for the Broken. Why would that work? Anyway. Okay. Sometimes I just don't want to be here. And it's hard to make thoughts like that disappear. I don't want to run from what's inside of me, but it's what's inside of me I truly fear. There's a battle going on inside my mind. It's a losing struggle when I've lost the will to fight. Graves of fallen dreams litter the battlefield. They fought a war they couldn't survive. This mask I wear is starting to break, opening cracks in my facade, revealing my pain. The thought of life without it frightens me. I don't want the world to see this ugly face. So many questions burrow their way into my head, like what happens after I've reached my end. Will I live on in a single memory, or will I be forgotten as quickly as yesterday's trend? I just want to learn how to get away from myself, or how to exist without begging for help. I'm demoralized by my own lack of strength and how I'm the root cause of my declining mental health. I'm trapped into a nightmare of my own making. Cold and desperate, alone and shaking, I feel no hope when I look to the sky. I already know even the heavens can't save me. There's a price to pay for these games I've played, these lives I've lived, these truths I've caged. Only the light can pull me out of the darkness, but I feel it's far too late to escape. Things fade, nothing lasts forever. So why the fuck am I not getting any better? Such a rhetorical question given my nature. I'm just too afraid to acknowledge the answer. Is there any meaning to my existence? I've searched for it, but it's like a mirage in the distance. Every step I take leads to nowhere. And my hopelessness increases with each passing minute. Sometimes I really don't want to be here, and that thought is never going to just disappear. I doubt I'll ever be able to coexist with myself, when who I am is what I truly fear. So, wow, that's a lot.
That was really good.
That was a lot to take in.
Yeah. I love the whole thing about the mask coming off and not being able to face. That was I was suppressing a cough though, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oh my god, I got a tickle in my throat as you were reading that. I'm sorry. That was beautiful. Can you send that to me too? I want to read that slowly.
Yeah. Let me get my pen out. Okay. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, now that we've made everybody cry. Jeez. Okay. Well, what a wonderful way to end this show. But that's all we have at Filter Free Poetry. And the next one is coming this Friday. No, wait. Next Friday. So be in tune for that and more details. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.